Just think about that name for a second, Maiden's Bane. That thing punches some hinds.
Yep.
He is not a closer. He gets no coffee.
I don't.
You know nothing of sport ball. Even when the ball that they're sporting is another man.
I watch.
Hello again, nice Watchmen. We're wearing the same clothes from the last one for some odd reason. We just didn't watch the entire time.
Change.
Super Bowl just happened. I'm pretty sure the Patriots just won the Super Bowl.
No, it didn't happen. Seahawks won. Patriots didn't even make it. They lost to the Broncos. Fuck you.
No way.
What? Sports.
Hand egg.
Hand egg. He doesn't care about sports. All right, we are reviewing a hidden agenda. Matt's gonna start us off again by doing the Baratheon cards.
And who are we?
Oh fuck yeah. There. See, I say I screw it every single time.
Welcome back, nice Watchmen, to another episode of The Cast in the Darkness. I'm Matt.
It's not even the same thing. I'm Clay.
Alright, well I'm Nick.
You're not Batman this time.
Not Batman this time.
And we are going to review a hidden agenda. I gave you a chance, sir.
Fuck it. Just don't give me the chance. Just
no, never again.
Don't even bother.
We're going to be reviewing a hidden agenda this time around. Like Clay said, we are wearing the same clothes as last time because...
We only own one set of clothes.
I only own the one t-shirt.
Yeah.
I own the Seahawks t-shirt as well.
So you have two t-shirts.
Everything I have is the same style of plaid.
You'd fit really well at Game of Thrones Worlds, held in Minnesota every year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Minnesota. So, like every time we've done this in the recent past, we are going to go house by house. We're each going to take a house or two houses, and we're just going to figure out how to do it. Yeah, we're just going to give it a go. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with card 101 out of 120. Yes, the last pack in the cycle.
Last pack.
Yeah.
We have Maester Crescent. Well, we can just stop here, really.
Mm-hmm. Do we need to go on?
The pack's pretty much over. It's done. We're good.
Baratheon,
I would
don't need any more cards.
I would like to get to the neutral one.
This card means Baratheon doesn't need to get any more cards. If Hollow Hill is not restricted in February, like next week, then Baratheon doesn't need any more cards. They can just skip that house from now on.
Yeah. They have enough cards.
They have the cards that they need to win every game.
Yeah, to jump over Targon being the best deck in the
Yeah, I think Maester Crescent is the piece that was missing, like just the free card.
Yeah.
That every turn you just get another card for free from your discard pile.
Is there anything else we can really say about it? Like,
no.
No.
There's nothing else I can say. I think
there are no more words.
There's no more words. I think
might make Cape Wrath playable in Baratheon.
Yeah.
That's the zero cost location when you win a challenge by 4 or more. Put a card you control with the Shadows Crest in the shadows.
Yeah.
Because just triggering it over and over and over again just fill up your fucking hand. I just... What were they thinking?
Yeah.
Like, the deck...
Like, Baratheon recursion needs better cards.
More better recursion cards.
Yeah.
I can't...
At this point, you're starting to cut good recursion cards. Because there are too many.
Baratheon's to the point now that Lannister was.
Yeah.
Is that they have too many good cards in the deck.
There's so much.
It's hard cutting down to 60, and it's hard to use Ashmark Knight in Lannister because you don't want to discard those cards. All those cards are good.
Yeah.
All those cards have plays every
turn. Baratheon still wants to discard them because then Maester Crescent just gets it right back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's to the point where you're not going to cut any more cards out of the deck.
No. This guy is
that deck's... You don't need to cut cards. You can be above because you're just going to discard everything to it. And you're just going to get it all back.
Care.
You don't give a shit. Like, the deck is complete.
Yeah. No, it's stupid. The card's awesome.
I've already moved on.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
On.
Card 102 out of 120. Mace Tyrell. It's an insane double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It It's
too expensive.
so almost good. If it reduced the power needed for you to win the game by 1,
It would be
it would
busted.
be... No, it wouldn't even be busted. There's no way, except for Red Queen's Faithful, to just pile power onto him. And that's a 2-card, 10-card, 10 gold combo, pretty much.
If he were cheaper, like 2, maybe 3, in Noble Cause, he would be great.
Yes, okay.
That
fair
ability in Noble Cause is just, you know what? He's got Renown. You drop 1 to 2 power on him. That's really dropping 2 to 4 power on him. Like that's a big deal, especially in Noble Cause.
enough. Right, every power on him is 2 power for you and 1 power for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're running a deck where you really don't care how much power they have, if you're running a deck where you know you need to win by turn 2, that's a great ability. Except he's too expensive for Noble Cause.
Sure.
He costs 4. You could have 2 dudes with
Look up the
Renown.
card Devious Intentions.
Devious Intentions. Attached character gains infamy, stealth, the military icon gains +1 straight creature power on it.
Attached character gains infamy.
Yeah.
Infamy is when you gain a power, you move it.
When
to
you would claim a power for your house, you may put that power on a character with infamy.
Yeah.
On a card with infamy. That is the only way in the game to give him extra power.
And that short of
Except for
Really?
Red Queen's Faithful.
that's very faithful. And that makes him 7. Because that card costs 1 and it's Lannister.
Right.
That means he costs 7 to do that, and it still reduces what your opponent gets.
Exactly. I think this card is... There will be a home for him. There will be a rush strategy that can use a card like this.
Yep.
That rush strategy hasn't been developed yet.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
House Tyrell, good trait.
A good trait.
Combos very nicely with the Randall Tarley that came out in the previous cycle.
Yep.
That gives Tyrell characters vigilant.
I'm really sad this is the first Mace Tyrell we've seen.
This
It's
this
first
is the
Mace
first-
was the
Tyrell.
first
This
Mace.
is
I
the
thought it was
first
the second.
LCG Mace Tyrell. There were 2
In the CCG, yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is
Maybe
the
I'm remembering the
first
CGG.
LCG Mace Tyrell. We've never seen him before.
No Noble Crest.
No Noble Crest, which really doesn't begin to make sense. If anyone in the game is
Is
going to
it-
have a Noble Crest,
It's
It
this
should
guy.
be Mace
it's going to be
Tyrell.
Mace Tyrell.
Or
Or
War Crest.
Crest.
Since he was
Oh.
involved in 2 wars.
Oh yeah, and he's
And
He's the man that's...
renowned as a tactician.
Yeah.
he
or
he,
was
yeah,
renowned
He
as
was
a
master of ships.
master of ships,
Mhm.
and he's the
Give him
one
a
that
naval icon.
and he's the one that
anything.
people compare Robb Stark to for his victories.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
But you
no,
know what? You
no
can't-
intrigue icon. He's bad at politics.
yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Makes sense.
But-
But you tack any crest, you tack any enhancements on there, it doesn't matter. He's insufficient at 4 gold.
At 4 gold, he's not good enough for the Baratheon decks that are being played.
Right.
If there is another Baratheon deck that comes about, like a big rush deck,
Yep.
if something happens and that becomes viable, I mean, he's not even a knight, so you can't use him in Knights of the Realm. But
The ability is really cool.
yes,
It's really cool. It's a double-edged sword, but it's one that you can really take advantage
the only
of.
issue, it's not even, it's as good as Fat Bob.
No.
It's worse than Fat Bob.
Yes.
Because Fat Bob doesn't double renown him and then give your opponent a power. Just double renown. This guy has double renown and gives your opponent a power for every power on him.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. But I mean, between him and Fat Bob and a couple other
And then
renowned
maybe
cards,
you can just big rush.
Yeah.
Maybe. That might be a deck at some point.
Yeah.
It's not a deck right now, I don't think. There aren't the support cards for it.
no, it's just he's too expensive.
But he's certainly playable in the right deck. He's a flagship, probably.
Yeah.
You build
Yeah.
a deck for him.
You build a deck for him for sure.
Right now, that deck isn't any good.
No, but it could be.
At some point, it probably will be, because that ability, like you said, is very powerful. Very
And
cool.
there's a lot of stuff in Baratheon that does this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Weird power
Power
manipulation,
grab.
right? It's
Yeah.
their thing, and
It's not their thing.
It's one of their things.
Okay, that's fair.
And right now they're doing recursion with Baratheon apparently,
Mhm.
but 2 or 3 sets down the line, they could go back to power grab.
Yeah, sure.
And power grab, it used to be what Baratheon did. You know,
Yeah.
Fat Bob was a big deal for a
Yeah,
long
like
time.
Knight of Flowers, like the no-kneel Knight of Flowers,
Mhm.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, yeah, there was... The power grab in Baratheon was enormous for a time. That was
Yeah.
the only good Baratheon deck.
Yeah, and to be fair,
Now
Noble
it's the worst
Cause
one.
is power grab. It's just a different power
Oh,
grab.
it's not quite though. It's so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, he'd be good if he wasn't bad.
Speaking of Noble Cause,
Speaking of noble cause,
we have card 103 out of 120 Riches of the Reach.
You mean event for Noble Cause?
The fact is that this card is incredible in Noble Cause.
Yep.
And it's largely terrible everywhere else.
It's not largely terrible. It's unplayable everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the one thing the Baratheon decks kind of lack is card draw.
Yeah. I mean, they're not Greyjoy. Indeed, there are
Right.
3 card draws, 4 cards in the entire game that draw
yeah.
cards for Greyjoy.
Like, yes, it's true. Baratheon have things like King Robert's Debt, and they have. Okay.
And they have
well,
access. They have knights, so they have access to what do we call? No, that's not.
Knights of the Realm.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
They have access to a lot of stuff.
They have access to stuff for sure. This card, it probably turns the Noble Cause deck into a turn 1 deck.
Well, it's. If you
Well,
play
no, this with Red Wine Straits.
Yeah, this with Red Wine Straits, bam, whole bunch of stuff turn 1. Or turn 2, because really this is draw 4 cards. Noble Cause lets you draw 1 card a turn. So this basically puts you 3 turns ahead in card draw.
Yep.
As far as I think. And if you're on turn 4 in Noble Cause, the game is over, you've lost. Period.
Yes, that's
If
true.
you're on turn 4 and have not won yet, you've lost. So this
Well,
card just makes
thing
no
is
this
sense.
seals the deal, though. By the way,
The thing
Yeah,
if
about
you do not win that turn, scoop your
no,
cards.
it's fine because you can still negotiations.
No, you do not draw anymore.
Negotiations doesn't draw you cards; it replaces your hand.
Okay, so you get one more turn to
You get
flail
5
about,
more cards.
flail about ineffectually.
This-
It's not flailing about.
This
You get
doesn't
5 more
actually
cards.
stall you. This is better than waiting to draw those cards.
That's right. Like it's not like you're
Yeah,
drawing
yeah.
those
This
cards
lets you
later.
play. This is
Yeah.
4 turns at once. This is
True.
4 turns of card draw at once, basically. It's draw all your cards for the next 4 turns now. It's better than waiting 4 turns to get those cards.
Yeah, if you don't, you're fucked.
But
You were
you're
fucked
fucked
anyway.
anyway.
Truth.
Because you can still negotiations next turn
Yeah.
You cannot draw
And
cards for the rest of the game is not a drawback in that deck.
in that deck because the rest of the game should be less than 1 turn
Yeah.
Truth.
on average
You
at that
should win
point.
this challenge phase or the next challenge phase.
Yeah. It'll be less than
Yeah,
1.
because you play it and then negotiations the next turn and then just
No.
whatever's
Yeah.
there to draw 5
You
more.
actually, you basically
I
have to
suppose.
win that turn, because if not, the other guy goes Valar, and you shake hands.
No, because then you negotiations and you draw 5 more
You're
cards.
gonna draw 5 more cards.
Yes, it's true.
If he's
True.
Valor's,
No, if he Valar, yes, that's true. If he Valars, you probably lose the game,
probably
but you
lost the
lose the game anyway.
Yeah.
well,
You're all in.
But bear in mind, if you Red Wine Straits turn 1, the guy's Valor in turn 2. Guaranteed.
It doesn't-
100%.
yes.
If,
Then
if
maybe
you have not won, you
Riches of the
Valors.
Reach turn 2.
Turn 2. You negotiations.
Negotiations, draw 5 cards, draw a card, draw 4 cards. That's 10 cards that turn.
Yeah.
And this
yeah, and you're winning that turn.
Hopefully.
At that point,
Theoretically,
10
I
cards.
mean,
You should.
and
You should.
negotiations to claim, you know.
Negotiate, yeah, so 2
Cool
claim,
stuff.
you have 10 cards in your hand, you're probably winning
you
that
should win.
By the
that.
way, there are no drawbacks to this card if you are playing Noble Cause.
Yeah.
There are no advantages to this card if you're,
you're
not
playing
playing
anything
Noble
else.
Cause. Yeah.
Yeah, anything else, it's not
This
fair.
is the Noble Cause event.
It's Noble Cause card.
Yeah.
In Noble Cause, it's excellent. In everything else, it's unplayable.
unplayable.
If Noble Cause is good, this card is good. If Noble Cause is bad, this card is bad.
Yep.
And there's nothing else you can say about it.
Well, that's it. There's
Mhm.
nothing else.
So, to Greyjoy.
Alright, so to Greyjoy, we have Gran Goodbrother. It's
한 번쯤 날 봐줄 거란 부질없는 기대와
actually a little disappointed last pack. There were no Good
No
Brothers.
Good Brothers?
Yeah.
I'm really sad. I'm enjoying the Good Brothers. They're
They're
my
good
favorite brothers. He's a bannerman like the rest of them. Icon, that's cool. He's got an intrigue icon that's really big in Greyjoy.
It's huge, yeah.
It's good. And if you control more locations than each opponent, which you do, because you're playing
Has a
Greyjoy,
rule.
then he can't be killed or discarded from play. Yeah.
He's
Great
not
brothers.
He's not include.
Yeah.
He's a 2 gold, 2 strength intrigue icon that can't be killed or discarded from play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is an auto include in
He's
every
an auto
Greyjoy
include.
deck. Yep.
But anyway, this guy's great. His big brother, the first good brother we saw, keeps getting better.
But is it playable yet?
I think so. Because really,
Well, you were saying last time.
3 of the good brothers are auto-includes. And the 4th one is turned on by more good brothers? Maybe?
He's a 3 gold guy without Ironborn, without a crest.
You give me one more Bannerman that's playable, and he's in there. He's not an auto-include. He'll never be an auto-include.
But if you have all the other good brothers in there,
If you have all the other good brothers in
He
there,
might as well be in there?
He might as well be in there. Because he's...
I still think if you're over 60 cards, he's getting cut. Because you want to draw.
Probably.
If you draw that one, you're sad it's not one of the other 3.
But I mean, we were just talking about the strength of storming the shore.
Yeah.
If you've got 3 good brothers in play, and you discard a card, which let's assume it's storming the shore, you're now kneeling 3 locations, and they can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good effect.
Yeah. Okay.
It adds a secondary. He adds a secondary effect to every single card in your hand.
Okay, my issue with that is
Mm-hmm.
the Greyjoy deck that you are looking to build is going to be a Hollow Hill deck.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm taking him all the time.
Favorable ground just kills those locations.
True. I don't know. I think he's useful. I don't think he's an auto-include. I think you can build around him quite nicely. But this guy's awesome.
This guy...
Gran Goodbrother
Yes.
is... I'm not going to say he's an auto-include.
I think
He's an auto-include. He doesn't die. He's invulnerable.
the good brothers are all good enough on their own. They don't need their big brother to be good.
Yes.
The big brother needs these guys to be playable.
Agreed.
And drawing them in the wrong order is bad.
Yeah. Like I say, if you draw their big brother first, you are disappointed it's not one of the other 3.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
I think
Specifically,
that is not a card.
this guy and the 0 cost. Because one that saves locations is good. Really good in Greyjoy,
Yep.
especially since you need locations up.
Yep.
But he provides you with a defense, that's good, but he's the least offensive effect. And Greyjoy is really an aggressive faction.
Yep.
Yeah, very much.
And you like the aggression that you get of these 2 guys. And this guy's got an intrigue icon.
Yeah.
And he's
huge.
invincible.
Yeah. So let's go on
All right.
to a potentially
Another awesome card.
Just
Longship Maiden's Bane, because...
what the fuck's with friggin' Greyjoy getting all the good shit?
But this card, like, it... First of all, you were saying Greyjoy's going to go back to warships. It doesn't need to. The number of cards that are incidentally warships that are
It's
so
enormous.
effective in
But
Greyjoy...
I'm saying the warship, House of Dreams, Iron Victory.
No, House of
No,
Dreams, this
no.
guy.
House of Dreams, this guy is what's happening.
Yeah, maybe?
Is Greyjoy House of
Seriously,
Dreams is coming back?
This
guy's
is a
coming in.
naval intrigue icon.
Oh, I know. No, it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. It's like so many like you've got your refurbished Hulk. That's a warship. Your scouting
River
vessel,
blockade.
your river blockade, your foam victory, iron drinker,
Yep.
foam drinker, iron victory. It's full.
Yep.
The warships, full of warships. A naval escort.
That's why I say I think Old Way is becoming House of Dreams.
I honestly think you're better off with other things than this and
Hollow
House
Hill.
of Dreams.
Well,
But
again,
I don't think you
Again,
really
I
want
think
House
it's
of
Hollow
Dreams
Hill.
this.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
but
well, this
even as your restricted card, if it does get restricted,
you don't need to Hollow Hill that deck. You have so much money. Aaron Dampier.
Yeah,
I would
Aaron-
rather
Aaron Dampier.
I would
Aaron
rather
Dampier.
House of Dreams Sea Stone Chair into that deck than House of Dreams Maiden's Bane. I think Maiden's Bane is awesome. I would consider putting 2 in a deck if I wasn't House of Dreams. Just because I want one and I want it to stay alive.
Okay, the only potential issue is if you lose warships during the course of the challenge, his strength goes down
yes.
as it happens.
Uh,
That's pretty rare.
I don't think that's ever going to come up.
Unlikely, except for the last Greyjoy
Unless
card.
if you're just
Unless you're using Aaron's favor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
this
that there's
card's
just,
pretty great.
Yep.
It can't be
It's-
killed when it's a
When
When it's a
it says
person.
it can't be killed.
can't be killed.
like when it
Like,
turns
it's-
into a person. It's
Like I say,
invisible.
this is I'm frothing at the mouth at how good these cards are.
Yeah. And then we move on to the last Greyjoy card, number 106, Euron's Favor. This card sucks. A lot. Really bad.
It's 0 cost with the setup keyword.
It's an extra card drop.
Yeah, whatever.
It allows you to use redundant warships in other ways.
Because it lets you take that second river blockade, so you get it, and then you can use it once to discard it to your own favor, and then it sucks. I mean, you can use your own favor instead of bringing the old way.
Right. Yeah.
But it kills your warships. Your warships are so much more useful.
I don't like it.
Your locations are so much more valuable in play than anywhere else.
This card is really good if you bring the bad warships. But Euron's favor is just, you know what? +4 strength and deadly.
is a lot of strength
It's a
and
lot of
deadly.
strength and deadly. And doing that once is often not better than the warship you're getting rid of. Like, you know what? Maybe. I'll throw out my second river blockade. Once I've got all my warships out, I'll throw out my refurbished Hulk.
Sure.
Like, stuff I don't need anymore. It's not...
You know what would make this card good? If Greyjoy could run supported by the Smith.
Yeah! That would be awesome, but they can't because it's no Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Which really sucks because I look at those prayers and I go, that's the only one I really want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they're thinking ahead for that one, not any of the rest of the Greyjoy cards.
No. So this card is bad. I don't know. I might try it.
But apparently I'm bitter on Greyjoy cards.
You are.
Euron's favor really depends.
You're like as bitter as Cock Bongo on Card Game DB. Every time a new chapter pack gets spoiled, he's like, oh, look at those fucking Greyjoy cards. This is the best Greyjoy cards ever.
Euron's favor
I'm starting to get really annoyed with
is
them.
good if you have a meta where everyone's afraid of things.
Right, if you play with
Cowards.
cowards, yes.
It's good against cowards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no good against me.
Yeah.
Because I don't respect anything.
Yeah. No, it's people who are afraid of things are afraid of Euron's favor. Because it is scary.
Yes.
But aside from that, it's bad.
yeah.
Next.
Next. Alright. We're to the Lannister cards. Card number 107 of 120, Grand Maester Pycell.
Hey, read it right.
Oh, it's Grand Maester Pycell in AGoT cards. Yeah.
So there's a card called Without His Beard
Yep.
that is not played.
And it's not played. It does the same ability.
It actually does it for 3 cards. And,
For that same reason, this is not played.
I think it's not as good as the other one.
I think giving your opponent cards, even if you're taking cards away, is bad.
I would love to see this card across from me when I'm playing my Baronet.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when
Yeah,
you're playing
exactly.
Lannister, I know I could, my opponent could make me discard cards, and he makes me discard cards and then draw.
Like,
Yeah,
this is
this is awesome. Just keep this going.
not even draw. So you can't cap them out.
Yeah,
It's add.
Add. Oh my god.
It's just like,
If you could cap them out and do this,
it would be
and
kind
just
of cool.
an injury challenge becomes triple claim, that'd be really awesome. But it's not draw. You can't do a thing with them.
Because the worst thing that happens is you make your opponent's hand worse. You don't take things out of it, it's just not as good as it was before.
But
On
you
the
know what?
upside,
It's
you could
probably
make it better. Yeah. Because if they have cards in their hand that they haven't played, there's probably a reason.
Exactly.
Either they're bad or they're not appropriate to the situation.
Anyways, I think it's garbage.
I
I'm
think-
moving on to the next one.
I think it's
Oh, sure. I'm happy
unplayable.
for you.
Yeah. So 108 is Tywin's favor.
Yep.
Lannister, you like your characters. You literally do everything in so those characters don't go away.
You probably got
And you really
better-
say when those characters go away.
Like, you've got better ways of getting gold.
There's a very cool Tywin that gives you gold. There's locations that give you gold.
Because you know what?
There's events and plots
There's
that give you
events you
gold.
plots and give you gold. This
'Cause
is
you're not getting
garbage.
You're not getting 4 gold from this card, unless you played it attached to a 0-cost character.
You're getting 4 minus the cost of the character.
minus
Yeah,
cost
yeah.
of the character, which in Lannister is probably 3.
And you're losing this as well.
You're
You're losing this as well.
So you're
So you're
losing
losing
2 cards.
2 cards for 4 gold.
For less than 4 gold.
Yeah, that's
Well-
right. For 4 gold now.
For 4 gold now.
For 4 gold now. But you just spent some of that. Like, really,
Well, no, because you play it on a guy that's been in play for a while.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's got setup, though.
Exactly. So
Maybe
it's
you
3
attach
on
it to a
setup.
refugee.
A refugee on setup.
Yeah,
Because
Sir Gregor's dog. Attach it to it. Who gives a shit? Here's 4 extra gold.
I mean,
gonna
on setup,
rough shot. It's
if,
garbage.
If you attach
play.
it to a 0-cost character on setup, it's actually not bad. It's terrible.
I rated this card a 2 on AGoT cards.
It's just, it doesn't...
The issue is, there's only so much space for attachments in any given Lannister deck.
Yep.
Ones that don't do anything and provide card disadvantage for what they do aren't going to make the cut.
Agreed.
And that's, I think, the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
So moving on,
The last
Lannister card, card number 109, an event called Lashing Out.
Okay, next. Card number
It's
10.
less bad than the previous card. Marginally less bad than the previous card.
Are these people insane? How is this 3.68? How is this above 50%? How is this above 25%?
It kills things.
It kills things in Lannister, I guess.
Terminal
so
schemes.
Lannister... Yeah.
It's bad.
Terminal
It's so
schemes
bad.
is a 3.6.
So, rated at 1.
Burn
Go,
it.
do it. Hit the 1 star. Go.
Burn
Okay.
this thing.
Next.
Alright.
Get out of here.
You have Martell this time.
Martell. I have Martell this time. Alright.
You whined and didn't want Targaryen.
Yeah, I don't want Targaryen this time. Have you seen those? Never mind.
Yeah.
We'll get there later.
We'll get there later.
Alright, card number 110, Southern Heiress.
So
She's
wrong.
Southron.
Not Southern.
Southern Heiress. She gains stealth and deadly when attacking a player who controls more characters than you. I like her a lot more than the last pack that had a card that did things.
Obara?
Yeah.
Do you like her better than Obara?
I like her better than Obara.
I have 3 of her in my Bloodthirst deck.
I was
Yeah,
going
I
to
think
say,
she's
I like her in
great.
Bloodthirst.
You know what?
We'll get to Bloodthirst. but I
We'll
like
get to
her in
Bloodthirst. Like if you have a few characters, stealth, deadly, like, stealth and deadly is a strange combination. It
It's a
happens lot,
fantastic
but it's
combination.
great, right?
Stealth and Deadly is amazing.
You
Yeah.
take out the one, they've got 2 guys. You take out one of them.
She has the exact
She's
same
awesome.
keywords and icons as Shadow Killer.
Yep.
And Shadow
Shadow
Killer
Killer
is
is
one of my
awesome.
favorite Baratheon cards.
Yeah.
I hated Shadow Killer when I first came out.
You just didn't use
just
it.
didn't
You
I
use
just-
it.
didn't use it right.
I looked at it and I thought it was awesome.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't
one
like
of my
Shadow Killer.
favorite cards, yeah.
I mean, no, this card isn't Shadow Killer. It doesn't do the cool thing that Shadow Killer does.
It doesn't
Kill
have
things.
kill a guy cannot be saved.
Yeah.
Kill a guy can't.
But-
exactly.
In Martell, it's good.
It's a stealthy, deadly military icon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of intriguing.
And
in that deck.
Stealth
In that
is
deck,
super important when you're building a deck based around the other guy has more dudes than you do. Stealth
Yeah.
is super important.
Yeah. Because it helps you once more mitigate the downside.
Exactly.
One downside, ally.
Ally.
And this is an ally that's worth killing.
This is an ally
It's
that's
an
going to
ally
get
that's
killed.
going to get O-carded every
That's
time.
going to get O-carded.
But
it's
it
going to
costs
get
2
various.
when you have 3 of them in your deck.
Yep. And it's
So
not.
we're-
And it is not unique.
It's not
So
unique, so great.
No, it's
I like it.
It's awesome.
I don't. It's so straightforward that there's not much to say.
rated less than
Rated
Lashing Out.
less than Lashing Out. I'm going to froth at the mouth. This is definitely.
All right, so now we've got a Martell event, card number 111,
This card's good.
Secret Schemes. This card is great.
Yeah.
Draw a bunch of cards and, reveal.
Not even draw, yeah.
Not even draw. Reveal. Add
Put
them
a
to your
bunch
hand.
of them. Put a bunch of them in your, add them to your hand if able. I don't really know when you wouldn't be able to. But I guess it's
If you
useful to
kneel 3 influence and only have 2 cards in your deck, you still get 2 cards.
Right.
And then you have
And
to
then you
shuffle
shuffle
back
some back.
3.
Yes.
Well, if you,
That's
no,
kind
yeah,
of
Yes.
cool.
back 3.
You shuffle X,
Shuffle
regardless
X.
of how many cards you
Put it into
reveal.
your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shuffle. Yeah.
I mean, if you reveal crap, you can just put it back. And
Then
now
you
it's not-
shuffle
And
them.
then
now
you
it's not
shuffle
on the
your
top of
deck.
your deck.
That's how amazing this card is. It's
Yeah.
literally, I want one of these, I don't want this thing, and then I put those ones that I don't want back and shuffle it. Shuffle them away.
The bold word is challenges, however.
I actually did not read that until now.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, isn't that very
That
strange?
is very strange.
Like,
Now, you can do it at the end of challenges.
like it's not crippling? It makes it less good.
I still
the fact you can't do
like
during
it.
marshalling sucks.
It sucks. I still like it though.
Yeah.
It's a one of, I think.
It's
It's a card you
yeah.
want to play once later.
it's like I don't have.
I mean, and it
I
can
think you do it
be-
at the start of challenges if you don't have, say, Red Vengeance
Red
or something.
Vengeance.
Call or choosing
Or
spear.
Choosing Spear or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like, let's fitch versus
Burning
fitch.
Sands, whatever.
Yeah, find a burning, find a princess lance.
Find a Princess Bands, anything. Like, all
Now,
of
the
that.
disadvantage of all of that stuff is your
Is
opponent now
that you-
knows you have it.
No, the disadvantage is now you've used your influence. So,
It's
so
now
unless you
you've
have
used-
a prepare for war,
Yeah.
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 Unless
that's
you
true.
have a prepared for war. It's
This doesn't make. Yeah. I like it. I don't love it.
another one.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's arguably playable as a one-of in a Hollow Hill deck. It's competing for very tight spots, once again.
Agreed.
If it were in another house, it would be much better. This in a Targaryen deck.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Just find all my burn events
Yeah.
during challenges.
During challenges, I'm gonna grab all my burn events and kill everything.
I'd run it in Greyjoy if I.
If you like a Hollow Hill Greyjoy.
Yeah,
Hollow Hill Greyjoy.
Yeah, sure. No.
If it wasn't Martell only, it would be pretty cool. All right, Clay.
All right. Yeah. Number 112 to the Littlefinger. He's Shadow's 10. He's a 12 cost card.
Most expensive card in the game.
Most expensive card in the game.
Okay, so he doesn't have to be participating in the challenge to increase the claim.
Yep.
That's all I got.
I think he's unplayable.
No, he's not. He's fine. He's just fine. In non-Stark and Lannister decks, he is the best Littlefinger.
Okay.
I guess.
He's not better than the Double House.
The Double House one,
Littlefinger.
yeah. The Double House Littlefinger.
Mostly because right now there are shadow cards everywhere, so Littlefinger's a 2-cost guy most of the time.
Yep.
This guy is always going to cost at least 2. And if he only costs 2, your opponent has 10 power on his house.
Yeah, which
It's not great.
not great.
Now, I mean,
Mind you,
to be
unless-
fair, you could have 13,
Unless you have 13.
and
Right.
he could win you the game by making the
Yeah,
power
unless
choice.
you have 13.
But oh,
I don't like him.
I don't like
I don't see him
Into
making
opponent's events is good. He can't be bleeds.
bleeds.
He's never gonna be harried to the Riverlands.
no.
Absolutely never.
I mean, his printed strength is never going to be higher than his gold cost.
That's right. He's never gonna be.
He's never going to be killed by Rob Stark because there's.
Uh,
Can I give +9 to a character? Well, how would you do +9?
Two
to a
against
character?
favors.
Yeah, let's say
I could
do
do
that.
Greyjoy, no problem.
I
I could do Greyjoy, no problem. I hate him. I really hate him.
he is both good and bad.
I mean, he's good in the fact that he has good abilities. He's
He's
bad in the fact that you'll
3.5.
never play him.
Yeah.
He's not a card if your opponent's doing badly.
It's really rough if your opponent's doing even something weird.
He catches you up very nicely.
He does.
He does not close out a game.
No.
He is not a closer. He gets no coffee.
He's similar to Harwin.
He's the opposite of. No, he's exactly like Harwin.
He's exactly like Harwin.
And I don't think you run him in a Stark deck.
And he's not as good as Harwin.
And he's not as good as Harwin. Harwin gets you cards. This
Yeah.
just gets you him and a claim boost.
This is pretty good.
In Stark,
Well, no, you're running the other Littlefinger Stark.
you're going to get the other Littlefinger in Stark, and you don't give a shit about claim because your claim's going to be boosted.
Yeah, because you could be
anyways.
running the bad Stark card from this pack.
Yeah, I'd never put him in Greyjoy because I can boost my claim so many better ways than that.
Exactly, right?
Okay, so Aleros.
Yeah?
Okay, so
First of all, if you were not running an agenda.
I currently have 6 decks built.
Mm-hmm.
4 of those decks do not run an agenda.
But if you're playing a man agenda, as soon as it attaches, you're running an agenda, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
So,
That's not really an opportunity cost
no.
because most of those decks run 1 copy of that in the agenda.
Yeah. The only one that runs multiple copies is the Stark one.
Is the Stark kind of land deck.
Kindly man
Yeah.
deck. 'Cause you
The
want
damp
Kindly.
hair deck, it's arguable you run 2,
Yeah.
but you don't need to because you don't need the damp hair effect.
Yeah, both the other ones only run one version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're very likely to not have an agenda in care agenda decks.
Yeah.
There are a lot of agendas going around,
Yes.
and there are a lot of ways to make no agenda decks viable.
Mhm.
There are plenty, not all, but plenty of viable non-agenda decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aleros arguably should be in all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to the second best card in the pack.
Who's doing Stark?
I'm doing Stark, aren't I? Yeah. Sansa Stark, card number 114.
Okay. How good is this card of Hollow Hills Bend?
It's still playable in Stark.
Still playable in Stark.
Okay, so
Actually, it is
I have
in Stark.
only competitively run up against one good Stark deck, and at no point could you have ever used this card.
I think that's not true. You can put cards in your discard pile. You can find a way to get them out.
Where does it go if you have more cards than you hand?
Discard.
Oh, discard it.
Does Stark have a lot of ways to get into the discard pile?
It can pray.
I guess. But anyway, no, it's cool. It's less good if there's no
have-
Hollow Hill.
Far less good if there's no Hollow Hill. It goes in every Hollow Hill deck.
It's got the right icons for Stark power.
It's an excellent 2-cost character in Stark.
in Stark, yeah.
No, I like this card.
Yep.
I'm not as in love with it as you guys are, but I think it's great.
Next.
Favors.
So Rob's favor. Yeah, next card.
Alright, let's start with Viserion.
You know what? Let's do them all at once. Because really, they're all one card.
Well, I want to talk about Viserion specifically.
Okay.
Viserion has stealth and an intrigue icon. Viserion is playable without the rest of them.
Yes.
None of the rest of them are playable without the whole
Without the
mix
whole
of them.
package, so they all can't be killed.
Because Drogon, I guess, let's just go through them. Drogon is a 3 gold, 4 strength military icon with renown.
Yep.
That's not actually terrible.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad.
In a house full of Tricons, a monocon is... Actually, it's less bad because everything else has a bunch of...
Because, yeah, like, everything else makes up for it.
Yeah.
And deadly means your military challenge is gonna kill
He's got
somebody.
renown.
He's got renown. Rhaegal has badly.
Oh, renown. Okay, never mind. Okay, so Rhaegal is a 3 gold, 3 strength military power icon with deadly. Rhaegal's the worst of the 3, I think.
Rhaegal's the worst of the 3.
Okay, these guys are really, really good with the dragon locations.
Yeah, where you just put them in play.
No, where you gain the extra bonuses based on their icons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like there's Marine, Karth, Astapor, Yunkai. Like the dragon locations make these guys really, really, really good.
If you're playing the Targaryen Dragon... No.
If you're playing Targaryen dragons, you're playing the QOD dragons. Because they have the responses. They have ambush. They do things that the dragon deck already wants to do.
Yeah.
And they do those things arguably more efficiently than these guys.
Yep.
If these were 3 other dragons, they might see play in the Targaryen Dragon deck. If it was like, Bob, Joe, and Tucker.
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 I hardly know her.
Rhaegal would be Tucker.
Yeah.
That's true.
But anyway,
Yeah.
if that was the dragons, then even then I don't think they'd see much play, but they'd be alright.
Yeah.
With Dragon Danny, they don't kneel to attack. So 2 of them get a couple of attacks in.
Mm-hmm. The one with renown gets 1.
Yeah.
The one who now gets 1.
And with Dragon Danny, the 4-cost QOD dragons are way better because they kill locations, kill dudes, they gain extra power. Like they each gain renown.
And in the dragon deck, you really don't care how much your dragons cost.
No, because they're ambushing anyway.
They're ambushing anyways.
They're ambushing anyway.
And the
Or
dragon
you're
deck
just
is
putting
an
it
Iron
into
Throne
play.
deck,
Yeah.
so you want them all to have a power icon.
Yeah.
And these...
The intrigue icon is actively bad in an Heir to the Throne deck.
Yeah, because you're never
Because
doing
you
intrigue.
can't do an intrigue challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which sucks because he's the good one out
He's
of all
the
the dragons.
good one.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
I think they're crippled in an unfortunate way.
Agenda
So, now we got
time.
some agenda. So we have Bloodthirst. Well, I mean, it's not a surprise. We've seen in the last couple sets leading up to this that
Yeah.
they've got a big hard-on for controlling the fewest characters, and there's a lot of stuff about, having fewest cards under your control, and just generally being in a weaker position.
Yeah.
Strength by weakness. It's a jujitsu
Strength.
deck.
It is. Yeah, it is the draw 4 cards a turn. That is so strong.
It's rough because it can help your opponent catch up if they're sucking.
The way the decks are built, if your opponent triggers the ability, they've lost the game. This card finally finishes the win by losing strategy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that it doesn't necessarily do it in a way that
Syncs with.
defeats the other strategies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are two other Martell strategies that are seeing a lot of play. There's Quentin and there's Hall Hill, both of which also win by losing.
Yeah.
Both of which I think are more consistent at winning than this will be.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This draws cards more easily.
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself in a position where you can't play them.
Yeah. Because if you play them, you shut down your card draw.
That's right. Now, okay. Opponents will be running card draw effects on their own.
True.
This is draw, so they can be capped.
They can be capped.
They can be kept. You can mitigate this. Like against the
they're probably
Lannister
gonna
opponent, they're
know.
going to mitigate it themselves.
They're probably going to know if they're going to be capped.
That's right. Like, they won't discard to Ashmark Knight.
Alright. So, I think we've chewed over Bloodthirst enough.
I think it's worth building. I am not bringing it to a tournament.
No, I'm not afraid of seeing Bloodthirst across the table. It'll be fun to play in a casual game. And fun to play against in a casual game, but it doesn't...
It'll be a deck that I'll want to tune up and play around with.
I think
Yeah,
it's going to have too many bad matchups.
I think...
I don't disagree, yeah.
I think I want to have time playing against it. I think I would like to play against Bloodthirst just to know what it does in case I do see it in a tournament, but
I think it's a deck you don't have to build against, and I think that's a weakness.
who's doing this one?
That's me. So we have Summoned by the Conclave, the only plot in this deck. It's really cool. It's, Bird Find for... What's that? Bird Find,
Time for Ravens?
Time for
the
Ravens.
plot, Bird Find.
Yep.
The Bird Find.
Bird Find.
This is Dude Find.
This is Dude Find. It's really great. It puts your Managenda into your hand. It puts Alaris into your hand. It puts whatever you need.
Puts Husky Game Brigands in your
Husky
hand.
Game Brigands. It is a one-sided
It's
summoning
not
season.
one-sided. It's
No.
sometimes a one-sided.
Sometimes in one-sided.
I think the fact that this card exists makes it less one-sided than it would be if it didn't exist.
Well,
That's
it's
what we're
another
saying.
reason to not run agenda.
It's
There's another
a
reason to
really
not run
good
agendas.
reason to not run an agenda.
This and Alaras are
This and
both-
Alaris are both good
both
reasons.
good reasons not to run agendas.
But you know what? If the other guy's not running an agenda, he's got one of his own, and they're probably going to be playing on the same turn, so I'll take two dudes. And hope my
But
two
then
dudes are better than
it's-
his two dudes.
Then it's just summoning season all over again.
Then it's just summoning season all over again. I don't see it in play.
It's 80% of the time it's going to affect you and not your opponent.
Mhm.
That's pretty strong EV. That's expected value on that card is very high.
And sometimes, against the opponent who's not running an agenda, it will still work just for you if they've already got their agenda out,
Sure,
and you don't.
sure. Unfortunately, there's also the chance that sometimes it's just going to give your opponent House to gain Brigands.
If
Yep.
you play it, then if it's on turn 7. If you're playing a deck that's going to run turn 7, and you're worried about that, don't bring it. I like it.
This card, I like it. I think it's better than a lot of the cards in this pack.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's.
I think it has a play.
I think if
I
you're
don't-
I
not,
think you don't like it because it doesn't go in your deck.
I guess it's the fact that the plot deck that I have
It's
for
so
the Landed
tight.
is so tight.
if you've got a
that
really
is-
tight plot deck, it might get squeezed out. But
Anyways, do we have a top 3?
let's take a minute.
Yeah, let's take a minute here.
Alright. So I'm good for honorable mentions.
Sure.
Honorable mentions, because I want to,
Mhm.
is 2 cards from Greyjoy, Gran Goodbrother, and Longship Maiden's Bay.
I'm gonna put Longship Maiden's Bane up for an honorable mention too.
My honorable mention is Alaris.
All right.
That's my fourth
Alright.
place card, yeah.
Yeah, so
Sounds good.
Okay, so third place.
third place is Alaris.
Gran Goodbrother.
Summoned by the Conclave.
Some by the Conclave was probably pretty close to
We
an
just
honorable
spent like
mention.
20 minutes talking about something by the Conclave, but I really think that it is that good. I mean, it's deck dependent,
I think
but
some
I think it
I'm not comfortable commenting on Summoned by the Conclave until February.
Summoned by the Conclave
it is February. Duh.
Summoned by the Conclave is like is on the cusp. If
I'm
once we-
okay being proven wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wary until we see what comes out.
I think that it's only, even after February, even after Hollow Hill gets restricted, it's still only going to be summoning season half the time.
Yeah.
And a coin flip is good enough for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you have Gran Goodbrother.
I have Gran Goodbrother. Auto including Greyjoy.
Yeah, sure, easy enough.
Easy
He's
enough.
invincible.
He's an invincible intrigue icon.
Invincible
He has
intrigue
the-
icon.
I mean, there's more and more things in Greyjoy that are going. If you have more locations than each opponent, something. And you already had more locations than each opponent. Now it's just more incentive to give you
Yep.
more locations.
Yeah, sure.
And with Longship Maiden's Bane as my honorable mention, that's another good location to have more of.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And you had Aleros?
I had Alaris for number 3. Yeah, I like that ability. Like,
It's a really powerful ability, yeah.
Yeah.
My only issue is it's really bad in every mirror match. I
Yeah.
think it's worse in mirror matches than Summoned by the Conclave.
Yep.
That's why I had it in 4th and
Yeah.
the plot in 3rd. Just because even in a mirror match, Conclave does something.
yeah,
Whereas Alaris just doesn't do anything.
yeah,
I mean, Alaris does have the advantage of he's a 2 for 2 strength icon with good icons,
Which is okay.
which is okay.
It's okay.
It's really good in some, it's pretty good in Stark. It's pretty good in Greyjoy.
It's always going to be included in every no agenda deck.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's just not always going to do anything.
just in some no agenda decks, it's a bit more useful than others.
Second place,
Second place is Sansa Stark.
Alaris.
I have Sansa Stark.
I don't have Sense of Stark. I'm not as enthralled with it as you guys are.
I have her because she's the second best Baratheon card in the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have her because she's amazing in
She's
Stark.
so good in Stark.
she's amazing in Stark and she's amazing in
She's
Baratheon.
even better in Baratheon.
Like, she's just good. She's just win.
She's okay in the Martell Princess Plans deck.
Yep.
I mean, use her to find a Princess Plans, discard it, use Princess Plans to get 4, including a Princess Plans. Just
Yeah, like, oh my
That's
god,
fine,
that's
eh?
fine. That's excellent. That's wicked.
It costs 4 though.
it's not that big a deal, really.
Alright.
That's you're meh.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
She's cool.
And
No.
you have Alaris.
You have
I have
Alaris.
Alaris because
Okay.
we've covered
We've
Alaris.
covered
that
Alaris.
very
You
good.
That ability is so
You
strong.
like her marginally better than Clayton, who likes her marginally better than I do.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So
And it's
number
just because of I think it might be because of what we play. I like I think she's got an intrigue icon.
well,
I
right,
think
yeah.
I think that's great.
I'm never at a loss for intrigue icons, and neither are you.
Neither am I. No.
So we don't need that icon as much as you do.
But
Yeah,
for
the-
me, the combination of her ability
that
may or
ability
may
is
not
what
go
gets
off,
her to number 3.
and the icon is what brings her up to 2.
Nah, fair enough, absolutely.
Best in pack?
I have Maester Crescent.
Maester
Yeah,
Crescent.
Mr. Crescent.
There's just no question. This guy,
Like, what do you say about him? Like, we can't say anything more about him. Like, he's just good.
I mean, it is only the topmost card of your discard pile.
but after he comes out of shadows or after he is killed.
Yeah, I know it's stupid.
Just like, it's just awesome.
Okay, so that'll do it for this episode of the Cast in the Darkness. Until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Clay.
I'm Nick.
Keep your stick on the ice.